Hi, welcome back to my video. It has been a while. Um, this month got away from us. We had so many birthdays and it was just a lot with school and everything. So I apologize for the long delay. I will do my best to be more consistent. But with that said, I wanted to share with you the books I got to read in the month of September. It is not 16. So if you watched my last video about the books I wanted to read in September, I was like, oh, I have a week-long vacation and I should be able to read like a whole bunch, but I didn't actually read a lot during that week. So whatever. Um, I got through about 5 books. 2 were audiobooks and 3 were physical reads. So let's go through the audiobooks first. So at the beginning of the month, I finished Rebel Witch, and this is the second book to Heartless Hunter or The Crimson Moth. They have the first book has 2 titles for some reason. And I really love the conclusion of the story. Yes, it wasn't as like intense as the first one, but if you think of it as a romance, it does what it needs to do for me. So I was pleasantly surprised that I enjoyed it because I had seen a lot of people who were disappointed. And although I can understand why they would be disappointed, um, I'm okay with it. And then I read Babylonia. I enjoyed this. This is about a woman who will stop at nothing to be in power and be a queen. And it's okay to be a little ruthless. Um, and I liked it. It had like a very mythical kind of vibe. Um, so yeah, it was good. Okay, and then the physical reads. I read Tusk Love, and I adored this story. This is like a grumpy sunshine romance, and that is my favorite type of romance. So we have Guinevere, and she is traveling on her own to meet her betrothed when she comes across some bandits who rob her and kill all her guardsmen and try to steal her stuff. And then Oscar comes to save her and decides that he's going to help her get safely to where she's going. And of course, he's like just so grumpy, and she is the kind of person who, no matter where she goes, she makes people smile. She gets into these adventures. Um, and it's just so much fun to watch her navigate through life. And yes, she does definitely have challenges, but she doesn't let that stop her. And that's kind of the joy of the Sunshine character. So it was just such a sweet, sweet story. And I am so glad that I have it, that I got to read it. Um, I really recommend anybody who loves a good Grumpy Sunshine romance to pick this one up. And then I was so excited to get an early copy of Alchemy of Secrets from Book of the Month. And I had to drop everything and read it because I love Stephanie Garber and I've read everything that she's written, and I have multiple copies of her books. And so I was excited to see what she would do with an adult novel. Um, First off, I don't think it doesn't feel young adult. It's not smutty or anything like that. It doesn't have anything to do with that. So it it didn't really feel like it needed to be firmly in one category or another. Maybe it'll develop later on in the books. Hopefully, there are more books. So what we have is Holland, and she participated in this mysterious film class that it you can only find it by following certain clues. You can't just go to the course catalog and register for this film course. Um, you have to kind of be invited by seeing mysterious clues and following the clues to the class. Um, and so we see her navigate. She's kind of already been through the course. She's a TA for that teacher. Um, and all of a sudden, the stories that she hears in that class, she starts seeing them in real life. And like there, for example, this is not a spoiler. She sees the Watchman, and the Watchman in the stories are is a person who can tell you when you're gonna die. And so she asks him how much time she has, and he tells her that she's going to die tomorrow unless she finds the alchemical heart, and that nobody really knows anything about that. And so all of a sudden now she is in this other world, not like really, she's in her world, but the stories kind of start playing a bigger part in her world. And so she has to find this alchemical heart, and she doesn't know really who to trust. She has certain men who all of a sudden show up and they're there to help her. And she there's one character that I really love, I'm rooting for. um anyway, this is really good. I loved it, and I will be highly upset if there aren't any others, because there are a lot of holes that I'm hoping will be developed in future books. Um, I had seen somebody say that, oh, this is a standalone novel, and I'm just saying it better not be, because it will really ruin my rating. This is a great first novel, uh, but it has to have more. We have to see more with the world. Some things happen at the end that we need to see more. And so, if there are more, and I'm almost betting money that there will be, I 5 stars all the way. If there aren't, then I couldn't even rate it. I'd be so disappointed. But it definitely has this like mysterious vibe. You start with like, oh, let's see, let me read the first page. It says, it started with a whisper you heard while in line at a coffee shop, a story you probably should have ignored, but the rumor stuck in your head like a song. It plagued you like an unsolved riddle, until at last it led you here, a parking lot, which had clearly not paid attention to the weather report. So it's like it's very atmospheric and pulls you in right away. It's great. I love it. I can't say enough about it. Okay, so the next book I read, Rachel Harris's Play Nice, and oh my God, this actually gave me nightmares. I couldn't sleep. I'm so embarrassed to say that it did its job. Um, the demon in this book scared the bejesus out of me. I was like, reading it in the middle of the night right before bed, which I don't know what I was thinking, but I was excited. I wanted to know what happened. And so I was reading it. All of a sudden, I couldn't sleep. I noticed my closet was like super big all of a sudden. And the noises, where the heck did the noises come from? And then actually, after this, I got sick. I got really sick, and I blame the demon. I blame Rachel, because this was really good. Um, I will say though that as much as I loved the story, the very, very end, I do wish ended differently. Um, and it's just preference. I don't think there's anything wrong with how it ended. Um, but I do think it wrapped up. I wish that it wrapped up a little bit differently than what it did. So that is the only critique I would say. But the whole story had me like at the edge of my seat. And I loved it. I loved it so much. I read Cackle several years ago, and I loved that one. I didn't love the werewolf one as much, and I have the vampire one, but I was kind of afraid to read it. So now I'm going to read it just to see if I loved it as much as I love Cackle and Play Nice. But yes, definitely if you have this, read it for the Halloween season if you celebrate Halloween. Yeah. All right, so I am about 50% through with the audiobook for Mistress of Lies. And hopefully I can finish this before the end of September. I'm it really just depends if I turn it on. So if I do, we are when I'm filming this, it's the 26th. So I should be able to finish it. And then I just started Death in the Cards. And this is the same author that did she wrote Arsenic and Adobo, so she does murder mysteries. This is her first YA story, and our main character is a high schooler who reads tarot cards to her classmates for money. Her mother is a detective and her dad is a murder mystery author, and so she is desperate to get into the family business of solving murders when somebody at her school goes missing and the sister actually hires her for help. So I'm not very far in. I'm on page 36, but I'm enjoying my time so far. And I'm not sure if I will finish it before the end of September. We will see. Okay, I will end with the books that I hauled this month. So I did haul Death in the Cards and The Whistler by Nick Medina, which is about a guy who believes that he's haunted. And he he used to do ghost hunting videos and he had an accident, and now he really believes that he's haunted, and his sister thinks that he's actually just dealing with the fact that he's now a paraplegic, and he actually thinks he is haunted. And I bet you he is haunted because that's the kind of stories Nick Medina writes. So I'm excited to get to that one. Oh, okay. So then I also got Sisters in the Wind. And so this is about Lucy and how her father died 5 years ago. And she is sick and tired of being in foster care, so she ran away. When some people find her and let her know that she actually has a whole another family, a whole culture that she didn't know, and that her family would love to be in her life. There's, of course, more to it, but I love Angeline's stories, and I cannot wait to get into this one. Okay, well, thank you so much for watching this video. If you like, please consider subscribing um, and push the like button. But that's all I have for you today. Thank you for watching. Bye.